Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram
Hare Krishna
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 Krishna Krishna
Jai
Hare
Shri
Hare
Krishna
Ram Hare
Chaitanya
Ram
Prabhu
Ram
Nityananda Shri Adwaita
Krishna
Gadadhar
Krishna
Shivasadi Gauri
Krishna
Bhakta Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya
Hare
Prabhu Nityananda
Hare
Shri
Ram, Hare
Adwaita
Ram, Ram
Gadadhar
Ram, Hare
Shivasadi
Hare,
Gauri
Krishna
Krishna
Bhakta
Krishna
Krishna,
Vrinda
Hare
Jai
Ram,
Shri
Ram
Krishna
Ram, Hare
Chaitanya
Hare,
Prabhu Nityananda
Hare
Shri
Krishna, Hare
Adwaita
Krishna, Krishna
Gadadhar
Krishna,
Shivasadi
Hare
Gauri
Krishna
Bhakta
Ram,
Vrinda
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Krishna Hare
Hare Krishna
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna
Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
So
Hare
today,
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
so
Krishna,
today
Krishna
is Wednesday,
Ram Ram,
28th of
Hare
February.
Hare Krishna, Krishna
It is
Hare
Falguna Masa or
Hare.
Govinda Masa. Falguna Masa or Govinda Masa. And Krishna Paksham. And yesterday is Chaturday Tithi. So there are no Vaishnava events today. So we shall move into um, Srimad Bhagavatam. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo
Om
Bhagavate
Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Vasudevaya.
Om
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, so Sukadeva Goswami speaking to Parikshit Maharaj, saying that one has to control his sitting posture, control his breathing, and control his association, control his senses, and he needs to meditate on the Krishna's external energies, the Supreme Personality of Godhead's external energy, that is the Stola Rupa, or the form of the in the material form, that is Vishwarupa. जितासनो जितश्वासो जितसंगो जितेन्द्रियः स्थूले भगवतो रूपे. Sthola is the form which is made up of the seven material elements. Sthule bhagavato rupe manah sandarayadhya. This is what the people who have absorbed themselves in the materialistic activity. It is not for the devotees. Devotees are already on the transcendental form. They have come to realize the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna in his Ananda Chinmaya Rasa Vigraha. But here, this is for the materialistic people. So Sukadeva Goswami is saying to Parikshit, Sule Bhagavato Rupe Mana Sandharayedhya, using his intelligence, he has to direct his mind only towards the Supreme Personality, the Lord's Virat Rupa form. And then further he is saying, so that Virat Rupa form can have that it accommodates present, past, future, and everything can be seen within that form. So likewise, he is trying to say, but even though this material world as a like the whole is the phenomenal body of the absolute truth in the materialistic form, and where we experience the time, and due to the time we see present, past, and futures. So that is the Krishna's Virat Rupa form. So we are in the second canto, chapter 1, verse number 24. विशेषः तस्य देहोऽयं स्तविष्टश्च स्तवीयसां यत्रेदं व्यज्यते विश्वं भूतं भव्यं भवश्च सत्. विशेषः तस्य देहोऽयं, and in his personal form, Visheshaha tasya dehoyam. There are Visheshaha, the so many in his form, Visheshaha tasya dehoyam, in Krishna's grossly material body, Stavishtasya staviyasam, Stavishtasya, all the gross material form, material things, and everything related to the matters. Taviyasam. Yatra idam vyajyate vishwam. Yatra idam vyajyate vishwam. One will experience all these phenomena, all the material things. Yatra idam vyajyate vishwam. Bhutam bhavyam bhavashyasat. And what can be seen? The past, present, and also the future within the body of the Krishna's Virat Rupa. So likewise, Sukadeva Goswami is saying, Visheshaha tasya dehoyam stavishtasya staviyasam yatredam vijjite vishwam bhutam bhavyam bhavasya sat. So translation for this verse. The gigantic manifestation of the phenomenal material world as a whole is the personal body of the absolute truth, wherein the universal resultant past, present, and future of material time is experienced. And purport by Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Can I request any unallocated devotees today to read our purport? Can I request?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, can I read?
Hemlata Mataji. Yes, Mataji, please.
Yes. Anything, either material or spiritual, is but an expansion of energy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and is stated in the Bhagavad Gita 13.13. The omnipotent Lord has his transcendental eyes, heads, and other bodily parts distributed everywhere. He can see, hear, touch, or manifest himself anywhere and everywhere. For he is present everywhere as a super soul of all infinitesimal souls. Although he has his particular abode in the absolute world, the relative world is also his phenomenal representation, because it's nothing but an expansion of his transcendental energy. Although he is in his abode, his energy is distributed everywhere, just as the sun is localized as well as expanded everywhere. Since the rays of the sun, being non different from the sun, are accepted as an expansions of the sun disk, in the Vishnu Puran 1.22.52, it is said that the fire expands its rays and heat from one place. Similarly, the Supreme Spirit, the personality of Godhead, expands himself by his manifold energy everywhere and anywhere. The phenomenal manifestation of the Jinjatic universe is only a part of his Virat body. Less intelligent men cannot conceive of the transcendental, all spiritual from the Lord, but they are astounded by his different energies. Just as the aborigines are struck with the wonder by the manifestation of lightning, a gigantic mountain, or a hugely expanded banyan tree, the aborigines Aborigines praise the strength of the tiger and elephant because of their superior energy and strength. The Asuras cannot recognize the existence of the Lord, although there are vivid descriptions of the Lord in the revealed scriptures. Although the Lord incarnates and exhibits his uncommon energy and strength and energy, and although he is accepted as Supreme Personality of Godhead by learned scholars and saints like Vyasdeva, Narada, Asita, and Devala in the past, and by Arjun in Bhagavad Gita. He also by the acharyas like Shankara, Ramanuja, Madhava, and Lord Sri Chaitanya in the modern age. The Asura do not accept any evidential proof from the revealed scriptures, nor do they recognize the authority of the great acharyas. They want to see their own eyes at once. Therefore, they can see the gigantic body of the Lord as Virat, which will answer their challenge. Since they are accustomed to paying homage to superior material strength like that of the tiger, elephant, and lightning, They can offer respect to the Virat Rupa. Lord Krishna, by the request of Arjuna, exhibited his Virat Rup for the Asuras. A pure devotee of Lord, being accustomed to looking into such a mundane gingetic form of the Lord, requires special vision for the purpose. The Lord therefore favored Arjuna with special vision for looking into his Virat Rup, which is described in the 11th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. This Virat Rup of the Lord was this Virat Rup of the Lord was specially manifested not for the benefit of Arjuna, but for the unintelligent class of men who accept anyone and everyone as an incarnation of the Lord, and so misled the general mass of people. For them, the indication is that one should ask the cheap incarnation to exhibit his Virat Roop and thus be established as an incarnation. The Virat Roop manifestation of Lord is simultaneously a challenge to the atheist and a favor for the Asuras, who can think of the Lord as Virat, thus gradually cleanse the dirty things from their heart in order to become qualified to actually see the transcendental form of the Lord in the near future. This is a favor of all merciful lords to the atheist and the gross materialists. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Ki Jai.
Thank you, Mataji. So it's a long purport and it is giving some kind of information from Bhagavad Gita. And also Prabhupada is explaining about it is for the materialistic people who are absorbed in the or atheist or demonic people. So they can see the Lord through Lord's external energies. So this one, so when Krishna exhibited this form of the Virat form in the Battle of Kurukshetra, so then he was saying to Arjuna, Ihaikastam Jagat Krishnam Pasyadhya Sacharacharam Mama Dehe Gudakesha Yachanyad Drashtum Ichasi. Whatever you wish to see, you can see either present or past or future. So here Sukadeva Goswami is saying these can be experienced yatra idam vijjite vishwam. That is bhotam bhavyam bhavishyat. One can experience everything by the time factor. The time which is the one causing everyone fear in their hearts. The time. Kalam eke yato bhayam. That is the time factor. It will destroy in due course of time. It is the Krishna says, I am the time. And it is the most powerful thing. Antaha Purusharupena, Kalrupena, Yobahihi. Even the time is changing all the material things, but the Purusha, he will not be changed. He is not subject to the time factor. Purusha is the spirit soul. It is always uh, eternal. But due to the conditional nature, it has come to this. Samanvit Satwanam Bhagavan Atma Maya, he would make the living entities to experience these pains, pleasures, and present, past, and future due to the time nature, due to the time factor only. And here the Lord's body contains so many things, and also Prabhupada is mentioning from Bhagavad Gita, so that Lord's all his body expanded everywhere. Sarvataha panipadam tat sarvatokhi siromukam sarvataha sutimalloke sarvam avrutya tishtati. Pani padam that his hands and his legs, sarvato akshi siromukam, his eyes and his heads and also his faces in all directions. Sritimalloke avutyatistati sarvam. This is sarvataha panipadam tat sarvatokti siromukam sarvataha sutimalloke sarvam avutyatistati. The Lord expanded through his external energy all over the universe. Because of his presence, the universe is always expands. This is Nabo dadati swasatam padam yendiya madataha tanum deham tanute swadeham tanute mahan mahan saptiviravritam because the Lord is within this universe, and this universe is giving space for the Swasatam Padam Yennaya Madadaha, for to accommodate all the planetary systems within the sky. It is giving with the fear of the Supreme Lord because He is present. Mahan Saptiviravrutam. And likewise, because the living entity is within the body of either human or any kind of living entity, it is expanding, that changes are happening. And also the Lord is as a super soul, he is always accompanying with the spirit soul, individual spirit soul. So that is, there is so much of thing in this one, but due to the time, so this is from the, and Prabhupada is mentioning, this is for the materialistic people to exhibit, so that they experience the Lord through Lord's external energy. In due course of time, they gradually cleanse the dirty things from their hearts in order to become qualified to actually see the transcendental form of the Lord in the near future. So that is also a favor of all the merciful Lord to the atheist and gross materialists. And we see in the 11th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, all the Vishwarupa form, everything the Arjuna was saying. It is so beautiful. And the Nana Varnani Nana Akruti Nicha, different colors and different shapes of the Lord, everything. Very beautiful one. So it is one can meditate on the 11th chapter for grossly absorbed. Okay, so that is from Srimad Bhagavatam. विशेषस्तस्य देहोऽयं स्तविष्टस्य स्तवीयसां यत्रेदं विद्यते विश्वं भूतं भव्यं भवस्य सत्. That is from Srimad Bhagavatam. We shall move on to Srila Prabhupada's daily letter. So today it is letter to Madhudvisha and Los Angeles, 15th January 1970. So can I request today allocated devotee to read this letter?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Okay, Smriti Kanamataji is not here, otherwise we are alternatives reading the purport on the letter.
Yes,
So I'm
sure.
going to read the letter.
Yes, Mataji, please.
My dear Madhudvisa, please accept my blessings. I beg to acknowledge receipt of your letter dated 5th January 1970, and I am glad to learn that your process of approaching the Supreme is in order. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's philosophy is that we will neither try to become equal with the Lord, nor we should attempt to approach him directly. That will make us successful. Perhaps you have received a copy of the letter from NY, New York, yeah, wherein it is admitted by the draft board that the ISKCON is a religious society. So our members who are strictly following the regulative chanting process, observing the restrictive regulations, and serving the Lord faithfully will have natural ministerial status, and such they will not be called by the draft board. So please see that all the members of our temple are following the rules and regulations, which are very simple, namely to chant Hare Krishna 16 rounds, attending the classes, reading the books, going out for Sankirtana, and taking prasadam. It is very good that you are trying to find out mansion like Boston, but that the house was specially required because we wanted to install the press. So far, other centers are concerned, even though we do not have our own house. There is no cause for pre, yeah, uh, perturbation because our most important thing is on the street. So there is no hurry. We have lived in our present location for the last 3 years, and we may live there for another 3 years. It does not matter, but Sankirtana program must be executed very nicely. Another thing, perhaps you have talked already with Gargamuni that Jayananda may be required to go to India. Do you think that is going away from San Francisco will be detrimental to our working there? If it is so, then the proposal may be suspended for a time because I do not wish to disturb your nice work. So I will be glad to hear from you about this. Another thing, if Jayananda has got even a little desire for marrying, there is no harm in that way. But if he wants to marry, he may do so immediately, and that girl, Sachi Devi, is quite suitable. I know if Jayananda becomes married, he will not be a lost child, rather a good wife in Krishna consciousness will be an extra impetus for his improvement. I think the settle center is going nicely as I understand from Upendra. He is regularly in contact with the center and they are doing nicely. If we can open a center in Portland, this is welcome. Your ever well wisher, Shri Bhaktivedanta Swami Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai.
Jai. Thank you, Mataji. Any takeaway points, Mataji, from here?
So that's a long letter, Prabhu. So I'm just remember some points about how to that he is wants to do like open the center, but then the simple things is following the regulative principle, 16 rounds, chanting and reading books, attending the class, and joining the Sankirtana party, and taking prasadam. That is the main Prabhupada wants to say, and serving Lord faithfully with the like chanting and taking prasadam and following the regulative principles. And in the other things, the Prabhupada also say that what is the most important thing? The things is the Sankirtana party in the going program is very nicely. So he is instructing the devotee to even if he wants to marry, and then he said he can marry so quick. Then the girl is so nice, so he's not going to lose the child or some so. And she's going to be a good wife, and the taking the Krishna movement a bit nicer, and then opening the like center, so it's going to go very nicely. Yeah, that's a problem. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Mataji, for kindly summarizing this letter. Any other points, dear devotees, you wanted to add?
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
I wasn't clear about the process of the first sentence at the top. What did it say? Your process of approaching the Supreme. I'm not clear about that sentence actually. Can you clarify, please? Yeah, right to the end. Yeah.
So this is, we need to approach the Lord through the disciplic succession. So that is through the gurus. And we don't directly go to Krishna straight away. So that's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu philosophy is that we will neither try to become equal with the Lord, nor we should attempt to approach him directly. So this is the statement for the approaching Krishna, whether it is in order or not.
So when you don't do that, that will make you Successful. This is the bit. Yeah. So you don't go that route, otherwise you're not going to be successful. Yeah, I got it now. Thank you.
Any other points, David? So in this letter, Prabhupada mentions again, mentioning, stressing, reading the books, going out for Sankirtan and taking prasadam. This is very important. And also serving the Lord faithfully will have a natural ministerial status. So this is one thing is instructing. So the one is the faith and always going and reading the books, going out for Sankirtana, taking prasadam, chanting 16 rounds attentively. And so that is Sankirtana is the most important. Again and again, Prabhupada is saying it must be executed properly to this is the Madhudvisha letter. And another thing is the partner, if he's uh, very devotee, then it will be an extra impetus for the improvement in the devotional service. These are the few points even might take away as well. So from the announcements point of view, so today evening we have got Kirtan evening at 8:30 p.m. And also yesterday we have got nice session with Saranya Mataji. Thank you so much, Mataji. And also when we are teaching, this is the practice session. If we speak any statement, then we need to show a reference. Otherwise, we should not say for the sake of the emotions or the feelings or because we have to show evidence. One is the through the Shabda, one is the through the Prabhupada's purports or the verses or the from the Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam and scriptures. So sometimes devotees also speak something, or they have seen somewhere the evidence, but we should not take it as a granted because they have seen somewhere. We have to put that one in the first and then we speak. And we have to show any incident that it has happened in the past, then only we speak. Otherwise, we don't assume and speak. We don't think and speak. We don't speak like that. We have to control our tongues because it can assume the mind will take us. Our mind has been absorbed in the material things. It can assume, even though we are speaking the truth, but it doesn't have a strength of reference, strength of the scriptural reference. It would not have an impact on the hearer. So that is very, very important. When we speak with the faith that purity comes, then it will have an impact on the hearing person. So that is one point I would like to stress. So when in the preaching session, it doesn't matter if we prepare or if we don't have preparation time, but just going to scripture, open one verse and then read the statements and recite verse 3 times, at least 3 times, and then read the translation and the purport line by line what Prabhupada wanted to explain about that verse, and then bring some context with the Krishna's pastimes, like from the Bhagavatam, a small thing like how Yashoda Mata was treating Krishna, and corresponding to that one, how Krishna treating with the devotees. Those pastimes can be added to the verse and the context. So that way, everything will be in order. But so this is just few things. Just would like to add so that devotees will be more freely and confidently can speak from the Bhagavad Gita. It is not. We do not have to be very scholarly. We simply wanted to open Veda base and take one selected verse and read the purport and try to explain. It is as simple as that. We do not have to worry about anything at all. That I haven't remembered anything. These are not the concerns at all, or I have not prepared. These are the not concerns. Just open the text and then show the scriptural injunction and speak from it and what Krishna wanted to say, or devotees wanted to say, or Prabhupada's purport, what Prabhupada is explaining in relating to our lives. That is very, very important. So I request all the devotees take part. It is not nothing to be worried about anything at all. It is us. We are speaking from the scriptural point of view only. So just wanted to add that point. So that is
Hare
from
Krishna. Yes, Prabhu, I agree totally. because you can't be concocting like Prabhupada's message in the letter to the press. He reiterated it several times, how important it is and how transparent Krishna consciousness is. So go ahead and check it out, you know, to the students, to the university, to the press is there. Why don't you go and check it out for yourself before you make blunt statement? I think that's a lot of that happens, and we say, oh, we heard from a devotee, and that's why you need to check it out. It's otherwise you go in with false information, you share false information, and you can get into big trouble. Yeah, Hare Krishna, I agree.
Thank you, Mataji. So because of those things, so many, for example, neophytes come and here, they will put into bewilderment. So this is the way in India it mostly widely spreading at the moment. It spoils the culture.
On that note, Prabhu, I have heard that from a devotee that you're allowed to eat mushroom now. She's a devotee of Radhanath Swami, um, and
Mm.
and you also, some are saying you can eat leek and some are saying you can't. So this is why we need to have good source or information from good source, not just take hearsay. And I actually took hearsay on that point about, you know, when you're eating, when you're cooking and eating, what thing ingredients you should have and what kind of value there are in food and things like that. We need to be clear, and that's why they have the guru disciple courses and things like that. We need to be very careful how we practice, you know, follow the regulative principle very carefully.
Thank you so much, Mataji. So, and also, what is the motto of just taking such kind of statements? That is also in behind our mind. Kama yesha, krodha yesha, rajo guna samudbhavaha. The mushrooms, this is fungus family, leeks and all onions family. So, just as simple as why we are trying to take those things. So, such kind of such kind of thought is coming. So, we need to think of it.
Yeah, I think it's because one desires, that's why they get indulged with it.
Yeah.
But the scripture says this very clearly. What about chocolate, Prabhu? Yesterday I was told, Sunday I was told in one of the classes that you are allowed to eat chocolate now. Where did that come from? I'm not sure. And they were insisting it's true, one Mataji was saying. Do you know anything about that?
So chocolate, once again, when it comes, there are so many varieties, but what is the motto? That is important.
Yeah.
If it is a very nice occasions, then Prabhupada also mentions sometimes in the purports, we are not allowed, for example, some they contain ingredients of egg and so many other things. We are not allowed to eat such kind of things. But if we are trying, what is the motto? That is important. Everywhere, Bhavagrahi Janardana. Krishna says, what is our intention to taking this chocolate? Am I taking it for my happiness or am I taking for because they have given or Guru has given or other devotees have given and why they have given? These are the different thoughts one we need to see and carefully we need to deal such kind of situations. It is not simply taking it or simply rejecting it. Bhavagrahi Janardana, what is the intention? Is it for my sense gratification or someone's to respect some other's feelings?
But
That
they do chocolate cake in the temple, so maybe that's why there's an issue, you know, because you advise against it with the different contents in the chocolate, and they use it to make cake, which is a different thing, I suppose, and it's served to everybody. So it's not like your personal choice and intention of enjoying.
no. So we take prasadam so that body will be healthy. That is the needed thing. And if prasadam is given in the temple as Mahaprasadam, we take it because it is Krishna's prasadam.
Yeah.
Simple as that. Nothing else is motivating us to take some chocolates, some cakes, or some other bringing some biscuits from the shops and offering it to Krishna. That needs to be avoided. As much as possible, we prepare even the little water, little fruit. These are sufficient and distribute it as a prasadam. We don't have to be buying biscuits from the shop and offer it to the Lord. That is one we need to improve. Even if we are doing it unknowingly, we need to improve that one. Just simple water is sufficient. Simple fruit is sufficient. And what is the motto is behind it? I wanted to eat that biscuit, but I can't eat it because it is not offered. So because that's why I wanted to offer it. What is the behind the reason? Kama yesha, krodha yesha. So this is Krishna, Rajo Guna Samudbhavaha. That is mode of passion. That's why that kind of desires comes from the mind. Yat sankalpa vikalpabhyam. Vattate kama sambhavaha. The mind is the place for such kind of things. So we need to be careful. What is the desire? Okay, that is from the announcements point of view. Thank you so much, Mataji, for raising those things.
Thank you for clarifying, Prabhu. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Mataji.
Mataji.
So, Mataji, in the temples, they are offering the chocolate cake that is caffeine-free chocolate, Mataji. The caffeine, the ingredient caffeine is not allowed because that can cause addiction. That's why we are not allowed to eat chocolates. The thing that there is another name I don't remember now. The chocolate that they are using in the cake to offer Krishna is caffeine-free one. That is allowed to use. And in case of mushroom, also Prabhupada showed like there are two type of mushroom. One is considered as non-vegetarian. One is considered as vegetarian. When Prabhupada was in a temple in abroad, there was some mushroom on their garden, and Prabhupada was asking them to use that and make prasadam and offer to Krishna because that was vegetarian one. But since we don't know like what can be eat and what is not, we are regretting that rejecting that the mushrooms are not allowed because there are particular species that is allowed and another is not allowed. So that we are not sure, so which we can and which we cannot, so that's why we are not taking mushroom. But there are certain things when Prabhupada was referring to eat that. So that is the case of mushroom and chocolate, the caffeine free chocolate that devotees use to make cakes and offer to the Lord, that is allowed in many temples, that is available. And as a prasad also they are distributing that is caffeine free chocolate that is allowed. So that is Prabhu. And I'm sorry for yesterday's sessions if I offend any devotees. That was not my motto. Like I was very busy